There are calls for a royal commission into our building industry. Let's have a look. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Heise Says. Now, I thought I'd share this article from insurancenews.com.au about appalling failures in our construction industry or building industry and calls for a royal commission. So let's read through this and then have a little bit of a talk. Australia's construction sector is broken and requires a royal commission to restore public trust and industry body claims. Builders Collective President Phil Dewar cites flammable cladding, Sydney's Opal Tower, and the failure of builders' warranty cover in a paper submitted directly to Prime Minister Scott Morrison. He says hard-working citizens are being dudded by bad dwelling design, greedy developers who have facilitated the cutting of corners, or builders who work purely on a basis of expediency. One only has to visit the Victorian Civil Administrative Tribunal building in Melbourne on any given day and look over the schedule for the day's hearings, he said. The tribunal is virtually under siege from disputes between developer builders and Mr. and Mrs. Average. Mr. Dwyer said failings have been made worse by a lack of action by regulators, as we've seen in the Shergold-Weir report, and calls for a properly constituted judicial inquiry, ideally a royal commission, with nationwide coverage. Conflicts of interest, we've seen that. Poor oversight from regulating bodies and seeming indifference from governments ensure that regulation standards and expectations are not being met in modern-day Australia, he said. Mr. Dwyer says the paper sent to Mr. Morrison highlights the following key points. The decline in strict compliance to standards, which began with the deregulation privatisation of inspection regimes in the mid-1990s, privatisation of building certifiers surveyors, the virtual collapse of builders' warranty insurance in 2001, the major shift towards high-density living in the last 15 years. Mr. Dwyer welcomes last week's VCAT ruling on the La Crosse Apartments flammable cladding blaze, but wants to see further action. Now, I've done a video about the apartment, the La Crosse apartment, and I will put a card to that right now. Apartment owners launched legal action against builder U.S. Simons, which was ordered to pay them $5.75 million. The vast majority of that sum would be paid to LU Simon by the project's architect, fire engineer, and building surveyor. Well, actually, 97% of it will be paid to them, who were in breach of contractual obligations. Now, I've gone through that, and I actually agree with the judge. The ruling is the outcome that we've been fighting for years to make our practitioners accountable for their inappropriate actions by a regulator, Mr. Dwyer said. The judgment is a breath of fresh air and vindicates our long-held position, but this moment must be taken as a chance to move this industry forward. Australia needs an urgent royal commission into the national building industry before people start losing lives. Okay, so I thought that's interesting, calling for a royal commission. And, I agree with the points that he's raised here. I've been reading about this for the last few weeks, just the different issues that are happening with Opal, with La Crosse, with Alara. So I thought I'd learn a bit more about a royal commission, because we hear about them all the time in Australia. So this is from the Royal Commissions Act, 1902, and it's the current one. It's been updated, of course. And I want to read a few, not just portions of this, to kind of get an understanding of the authority and gravitas of calling for a royal commission. And here's the power to issue a royal commission. And I'm just checking how big it's on your screen. There we go. Without in any way prejudicing, limiting, or derogating from the power of the King or the Governor-General to make or authorize any inquiry or to issue any commission to make an inquiry, it is hereby enacted and declared that the Governor-General may, by letters patent in the name of the King, issue such commissions directed to such person or persons as he or she thinks fit, requiring or authorizing him or her, or them, or any of them, to make inquiry into and report upon any matters specified in the letters patent, and which relates to or is connected with the peace, order, and good government of the Commonwealth, or any public purpose or any power of the Commonwealth. So a royal commission is not a simple thing. They have a lot of authority, they have a lot of power, and it just shows you what the gravitas behind it. So what we'll do is we'll just scroll down here to hearings and coercive and other powers of the Royal Commission. So they have the power to summon witnesses and take evidence. My understanding is once the letters patent have been established, the government can't stop the Royal Commission. If it's a Royal Commission, they just keep going until they reach a conclusion. They can put a time frame on it, and then they've got the authority and the power. And I understand it's more than a judge as well. So a member of a commission may summon a person to appear before the commission at a hearing to do either or both of the following: to give evidence, to produce the documents or other things specified in the summons. If a commission is constituted by 2 or more members, a hearing of the commission may be held by 1 or more of the members of the commission if each of the members holding the hearing is either the president or chair of the commission or authorized in writing by the president or chair of the commission to hold authorized member hearings in relation to the commission. Okay, that's just kind of the politics about it. And we'll skip down a bit more, and I want to look at the offenses. So, the one example there is that they can call people to the commission, and what happens if you try and get out of it. So a person shall not, at a hearing before a commission, intentionally give evidence that the person knows to be false or misleading with respect to any matter, being a matter that is material to the inquiry being made by the commission. 1A. A person must not, in response to a notice given to the person under subsection 23C in connection with a commission, intentionally give information or a statement that the person knows to be false or misleading with respect to any matter that is material to the inquiry made by the commission. And here's the interesting bit. A contravention of subsection 1 or 1A is an indictable offence, and subject to this section is punishable on conviction by imprisonment for a period not exceeding 5 years or a fine not exceeding 200 penalty units. So that is a pretty strict level of, if you lie to the commission, you go to jail for 5 years. That is pretty strict. And here's another one about destroying documents, because I always wondered why these organizations, you see in the movies where they're shredding everything. And if you're caught for a royal commission, destroying documents or other things, a person commits offense if the person acts or omits to act, and the act or omission results in a document or other things being concealed, manipulated, or destroyed, or rendered incapable of identification, or in the case of a document, rendered illegible or indecipherable, and the person knows or is reckless as to whether the document or thing is one that is or may be required in evidence before the commission, or the person has been or is likely to be required to produce pursuant to the summons required or notice under section 2. So if you destroy documents, you can get done too. So they've got the power to call you, they've got the power to put you in jail for 5 years for lying. They've got the power of, if you're destroying documents. So 2 years or 100 penalty units. So it's not as bad. But, so this is what they're calling for into our building industry. What do you think the letter patent should be? What should the letters be for this inquiry? Should it be, see, that's the thing, it needs to be defined. Let me know in the comments if you think we need to have a royal commission into construction and what you'd want it to look into. But I thought I would just share here, I'll give a link to this. This is just all the royal commissions, and you can see some of them in the past. I'm checking to make sure it fits. Yep. In 1902, Royal Commission appointed to inquire into and report upon the arrangements made for the transport of troops returning from service in South Africa in the SS Drayton Grange. Okay. Royal Commission on sites for the seat of government of the Commonwealth, 1903. They did a Royal Commission into this. Royal Commission on the bonuses for manufacturers bill. Royal Commission on the butter industry. Okay, Royal Commission on the navigation bill. So there's a precedent. There's a lot of them here, you can see, and the most recent ones we've had have been into the, institutional responses to child sex abuse. Royal Commission into the home installation program. I might actually look through that one. Royal Commission into Trade Union Governance and Corruption, okay, from 2014. So it's just interesting to learn a bit more about the actual authority of a Royal Commission, some of the ones that have been used in the past. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Do you think we need one into the building industry? Do you think it would result in a better outcome? Please like, share, and subscribe. Ding the bell if you want to see my daily updates, and I'll see you all again tomorrow. Bye for now.